Well, hello, my beautiful Cancerians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of November, right through the end of December 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Cancerians, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile is the unified energy of how things come together, okay? Also, it is worth noting that if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That is more likely to be a false flame connection, and it really will waste your wonderful time and drain you of your beautiful love. Now, I will give you a bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame dynamic. Please fast forward this part if you are already aware or you've heard it before. Get to the part where I show you your first card, okay? But for the rest of you who would like to know, twin flames, of course, are magnetic. Please think of yourself as a magnet and your divine counterpart as one as well, because you both share a frequency at the core of you that seeks each other out, okay? You can feel it. It's all consuming. When you meet your twin, it's intense. It is, of course, magnetic, but also it is otherworldly, an experience like no other when it comes to love. Now, if you think of magnets that are identical in polarity, you attract each other, but also there is repulsion, okay? Not that you are repelled by them. There's something in between the energy that prevents you from fully committing or fully connecting into a sustainable relationship. You keep trying, of course, but something seems to be in the way. So if you think about a twin flame dynamic, there has to be a separation period. That is the space in between. There tends to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period, which is not always, typical, but it tends to be the norm. Now, twin flames, as I mentioned, they are electric, physically romantic. It is an overwhelming experience, almost obsessive with each other at first, and both parties feel the same, okay? It is love, but also, this dynamic tends to be more of a spiritual awakening than an actual physically romantic relationship in its tangible form. Now, it tends to be a process, okay, that prepares both parties to release lower vibrational energy that keeps both parties or either party stuck in fear, addictive patterns, unhealthy attachments. It can also be that people are grappling with low self-esteem, trust issues, codependency, addictions, abandonment issues. So, it depends on your twin flame dynamic. It'll be different for each one of you, of course, so please apply it to your situation. This reading tends to be quite specific, so it may not resonate with everyone. Please take what resonates, of course. But, this is a process, and it's a personal journey of discovery, because your twin's job is to trigger and amplify things within you that have lain dormant that need to be healed, okay? They actually illuminate the shadows that prevent you or prevent themselves, because you will illuminate the shadows within your twin, and anything that prevents you or them loving yourselves fully It is to peel back the layers towards acceptance, towards self-love, and of course, compassion and understanding. And it is a journey of self-discovery. It's an inner vibrational transformation, but it is a journey of discovery that must be done alone, okay? And the job of the twin journey is to amplify in order to discover, to heal. And of course, when you discover your true life's purpose and mission, as well as embrace unconditional love for self, only then can the reunion process take place and a sustainable relationship be garnered for your future. Now, twin flames, they are a formed sacred union as a result of shared difficulty and pain. So often you will have noticed that you and your twin have been through some very similar experiences before you even meet each other, okay? There's a mirrored experience going on in the twin flame dynamic. And basically, when your twin looks at you, my beautiful Cancerians, they're looking at all the things within themselves that they've been running away from their whole life. They're actually projecting their feelings into the relationship. I don't know if you heard that major knock there. That's just confirmation that that's probably what's gone down in your connection. My guides are giving me an indication right now that your person, there is something from childhood with this person, but they have projected feelings, quite immature feelings, I can see right now, into this relationship to avoid. And whatever it is they're running away from, we'll try and dissect that. But actually, it feels very personal. They push back, they push their twin away. So your person may have pushed you away because you're getting too deep, too close, and they can see things within themselves that they've been avoidant of. How would you like to receive? Yes. We have the Six of Pentacles for you. We have the Emperor. So something here about childhood for your person, but also about maturity, because we have the Child and we have the Emperor. Someone is playing catch up spiritually with you, my beautiful Cancerians. But, you know, the twin flame dynamic, basically you feel so deeply for each other that it triggers fearful emotions of losing. So there is an element of control at first, control of one's feelings. So your twin, you know, in order to protect themselves, because they have the Emperor, basically humans are very complex. In order to protect, they control. So they kind of shut down in order to distance themselves from something that could potentially hurt them. Even though you're offering love, I mean, you've got a Six of Pentacles there. Okay, so this tells me that you are someone who tends to be an overgiver. Okay, you tend to also put other people's needs before your own, losing yourself in this connection. So I feel this is something that perhaps you've had to address within yourself, my beautiful Cancerians. But you gave and you gave and you gave to this connection, and it wasn't enough because the dynamic needs to shift. Remember the magnets, okay? So basically the frequencies change within you when you stop giving to the connection and you start giving back to yourself. It is not a game, it's an energetic exchange. The separation process is there for you to rediscover yourself within all of this and to, you know, find a new way to love yourself and value who you are and the needs that you have within the relationship. But also there has to be this sense of purpose, okay? So we've got the Queen of Pentacles here. We have the King of Pentacles here. So, I mean, because your person is showing up with the Emperor, this can indicate they keep a tight rein on their feelings. There's some element of control going on here because you've got the Bear and they've got the Emperor. And these two cards are about control. Your person has an abandonment issue because we've got the Five of Pentacles there. So you may understand some elements within your person because you're very close vibrationally to each other. You've got the Six of Pentacles, they've got the Five. So you sought to understand this person's feelings, and you may have even overgave to this connection and made yourself feel uncomfortable in order to make your person feel comfortable. You placated this person's feelings, okay? That's something that's coming out there. And again, it's something that perhaps you need to look at within yourself because it needs to be reciprocal in its energy, in its form. We've got the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups is a reunion energy. So there is a strong potential that you and your person, whoever I'm picking up on in this particular twin flame dynamic reading, you will see your person again. Okay, I feel there is an energy of sudden movement and improvement because you have the stork. But let's get to your cards. I mean, some people do say, why do twins not just tell each other how they feel? But twin flames, of course, they do feel deeply. Both parties feel the same. And they respond to the energy differently. And it can trigger fearful emotions that surface and thrust a person to kind of be in their unhealed responses. They bolt, they ghost, or they become smaller. And I feel your person, there's definitely some codependency here with your person, but there's a sadness. I feel like they have struggled with something, but so have you, my beautiful Cancerians. And it's about understanding, it's about reciprocity. And we got the bear energy here. You're very protective over this person. You're someone who is super independent, okay? And, you know, when you have the bear energy, it can indicate that you've had to gather all the strength in this connection right now to really dissect your feelings because you thought you were settling down with this person. You were fully invested. You know, you were nurturing with this person, you offered them comfort, you offered a safe space for them to explore their feelings and come to you in the right energy. But this person was already shut down by something regarding their childhood. And for some of you, not all of you, some of you may actually be with a twin who has a child, okay, who's had to give a lot of time and energy to that relationship, and they couldn't factor in at that particular time, you know, a relationship, a romantic connection. So not everybody's going to be dealing with that, of course, but if you have dealt with that specific energy, because that's just popped up, it's a small energy in the water, I feel like your person will actually reach out to you, and I feel that they will try to resolve the relationship with you and factor in, you know, other family commitments is what I'm seeing there, okay? So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy because not everyone has a twin who has children, but I feel that is something of a factor where it's almost like if they have children, it's an energy of protecting and not disrupting the rhythm they have with that child or those children because they kind of feel like they don't want to get it wrong. So they don't want to connect to someone long term in case it doesn't work. That's a fear of theirs. So they don't want to introduce someone into their child's life as their significant other, and then suddenly they have to remove that person. So they're very cautious about that, whoever this person is. But again, they will make it work. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from that energy. Now, for everyone else, you know, we have the bear element, but also it's number 15, and this can be the devil card energy. So you're feeling really stuck in this connection. You gave so much, you were very protective, but you feel it's going nowhere right now, and you've had to have the strength to really just focus on your own needs. This can indicate as well you've had a lot of obsessive thoughts. You're swinging between two energies with that Six of Pentacles. Should you stay? Should you go? Should you give to this? Should you withdraw? And I feel you're coming back to the same answer, which is reinvest in self. Focus on your own needs. Give back to you. Focus on your prosperity, because that is the magnetic draw for you. The twin who is the chaser tends to find their way back to themselves, find their way home to themselves. So you can heal your own wounds and release any toxicity or any old habits. If you have a cycle repeat with this person, I feel the cycle stops with you. You're deciding to be that catalyst for change. Now, when you stop giving to the connection and you start giving to yourself, that's when you change the frequency within the magnets, because you are the frequency. So when you stop thinking about your person, reaching out to the person, or messaging or responding to a usual typical cycle of repeat, then of course you break the chain of the cycle. So I feel like a lot of you are trying to do that right now. And I do feel at the very core of this reading, because the bear can indicate, for some of you, there's definitely a power shift energy going on, but I feel the control comes from a sense of not being enough, even though your person is enough. I feel like there's low self-worth here, but also I feel either you or your person were bullied when they were younger, and this really knocked confidence. And when you get into a relationship, especially a deep, exposing relationship like a twin flame, there's nowhere to hide. So it feels almost like this person, your love, the depth of it, exposed their fears of not being enough or, you know, being abandoned, because they have been bullied. I'm just getting an energy of bullying. So either you, my beautiful Cancerians, have been bullied in your past and have had your confidence knocked. And, you know, it's not something that always sits on our mind as we go through life, but it's shaped who we are. So it can indicate that when you are revealing parts of yourself, suddenly, you know, you start to feel fearful that the person is going to see the real you and judge you in some way, like you were judged when you were younger if you were bullied. So I feel for some of you, this is something that you're working out right now about feeling good about yourself, but your person hasn't quite got there yet, whatever experiences they've had. Because we've got the Emperor and the Five of Pentacles for your person, I would say that there was a father figure who was absent from this person's life, and it triggered an abandonment issue in this person. Now, don't get me wrong. There is an energy here that they kind of got on with their life and they tried to be really like super independent, but there's something that haunts this person of abandonment, like someone who was an important figure in their life that they always felt they were waiting for and waiting for and waiting for, who just never showed up for them, okay? So this person kind of like, I'm getting this energy of like, I don't need anybody. I show up for myself. It really shut them down is what I'm seeing there. And I feel like you've struggled with trying to really connect to this person, because when it's good, it's awesome. But when it is like not so good, I feel it really is awful. This person is avoidant, they are absent and distracted. Okay. And their distraction, if you've noticed a distraction with this person, their distraction is the thought of someone leaving them that gets close to them. Someone who should be present or should have stuck around left. And that made them feel like, well, for this person, somehow, there's no blame here in this reading, and I'm not here to take sides, but there's something in this person's energy where they dealt with the fallout of that, and they often wondered, was it their presence? Was it them? Was it something to do with them in some way? Even though it wasn't. But I feel like this person, there's definitely an abandonment issue here. And also, I mean, I'm also being given this energy of, now this is really precise, so it may not resonate with all of you. There's an energy of this person hearing about a father figure who is in need. Now this could be that they are unwell, or they're going through something. So it could be that this person is now just dealing with the fact that someone was absent or not there for them when they were younger and suddenly shows up in their life later on. So again, this may not resonate with all of you, but this person's got a lot going on right now. But of course, so do you, my beautiful Cancerians. So reciprocity is the key to this. And this person was not giving. They were falling short of being able to give to this connection based on their fears, because that's what these cards mean. And that's what the energy is giving right now. But I feel like you're turning your life around, and there's an energy of like not needing this person. You wanted this person. But there are some obsessive thoughts that go with this. And of course, you loved this person. You wanted to protect this relationship. You wanted to mend this connection. And you gave and you gave to the point where the balance was tipped. And you felt like you gave so much of yourself that you started to lose yourself in this connection. That's what a Six of Pentacles is. It can indicate that, you know, you're an overgiver in some way, and you know that this was destiny, that you were meant to meet this person because there was so many synchronicities. This person is your twin, okay? But the Six of Pentacles, you know, you just can't give to this anymore because it's leaving you bereft and out of balance. And this, I feel it was unexpected. You did not expect to fall in love with this person. And I feel that you're kind of doing a lot of questioning right now. Why this person? Why has it gone this way? Is there such a thing as a twin flame dynamic? Well, the answer is yes. But you were learning about balance, harmony, and also learning that you are a gift in relationships. And your twin knows that, of course. Looking at the energy, you know, they see, you know, the passion within you, the innocence within you, the purity within you, but also the shadows within you. They see your protective nature. You know, there is an energy where they feel regret. The Five of Pentacles is, of course, an abandonment issue, but it's also regret, a struggle. Because this person is so shut down. You know, the Emperor is a divine counterpart. So this person knows that they are a divine counterpart. However, the Emperor is a very strict energy, you know, very authoritative kind of energy that says, I need to be disciplined. I need not to give to this. So your person will have thrust them into work You know, they would have focused on their ambitions with an Emperor energy, and of course, to some degree, kept their distance. They're nearly kind of like, I would say, in a position to offer you a long-term relationship because they are working on themselves when you have the Emperor energy. So some of you are going to hear that your person was getting some sort of emotional help or seeking a counselor or some advice regarding, you know, not feeling enough, not feeling worthy of love, because this is a person who is like worthy of attention. And I feel there's something at the core of your reading and also your relationship with both of you where there's this energy, and both of you may have experienced in different ways the same lesson about not feeling enough. Okay, and that love, that unconditional love for self, had to occur in separation before you can come back together and have a secure relationship. Because you're vibing at a frequency right now of the Queen of Pentacles, which means that you're invested in your future and you're thinking about settling down. You wanted to settle down with this person. You were all in, you know, and you've been loyal and committed and faithful, and, you know, you practically worked really hard and were determined to make this work. But you feel like you just want comfort now. You're like, I can't do this anymore. Because for some of you, because there are 3 people energy here as well, some of you may have contemplated opening yourself up to finding an alternative relationship because this is hard. You know, the bear can indicate that this relationship is stuck. It's not going anywhere. And of course, you've had moments of obsession. You can't stop thinking about this person. You may have questioned, was it just lust? Did this person actually have any feelings for you? Well, the answer is yes. But this person, I feel there is a level of control over their feelings because of this abandonment issue. Now, I'm going to pull a card because there are 3 people. There's a Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. So let me just show you this here. So this is couple energy right there. Someone who matches your vibration. And I feel like your person, if you really think about it, they are kind of like 1 pentacle away from matching you and the vibration to come together in a sustainable relationship. So I feel like they are doing the work. They're doing a lot of childhood wounding healing right now. And you can come together in this vibration of, you know, a long-term sustainable relationship because you've got this 6 of Cups there, which is reunion. It is a longing to be together. It is the security of being in an emotion where you just know there's divine love, that there's no need to worry or fear. And you have the stork, which is sudden movement and improvement. And of course, it's nesting. It's coming together to acknowledge that you belong together. But it's been a long time waiting because the stork waits and watches, observes, and then suddenly, you know, everything starts moving. So I feel like you've waited a long time for this. But there is an emperor here. So I feel this person, your person, is either getting guidance from a more mature person. There's definitely a father kind of wound here from childhood, and the 5 of Pentacles is a card of abandonment. But I just want to see, you know, is this you having an alternative option when it comes to love and having to choose? So let me just pull a card on that. Is there 3 people here? 9 of Wands. No, it's someone who's very guarded. 9s are very independent energy. Okay, I just wanted to go 1 more there. And the King of Cups. No. So it is someone who has been guarding their heart. King of Cups energy is the highest love that love has to offer. Okay. So my guides are highlighting that actually there's 2 people here, you and your divine counterpart. So Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, King energy. So my guides are highlighting King energy. Okay. With that King of Cups. And the 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior, someone who is very hurt. But of course, we all go through experiences that hurt us, and we must be mindful not to project that onto a relationship or another person. Otherwise, you know, there are repercussions. But the 9 of Wands, this person's very guarded. Okay, Emperor is very I would say guarded. If you think about the nature of the Emperor, you know, they've got regal robes there. They've got to a certain position in their life. But as you can see, poking out there is the suit of armor, those little suit of armor feet there. This person's still wearing the suit of armor. They're ready to go. They're ready for action. They're ready to protect themselves. So, you know, I feel that the person you're dealing with right now does not trust that love sticks around. Okay, with that Nine of Wands, I feel like they have a defense mechanism that shuts them down, keeps a barrier up, and they reach their threshold with you because you are someone who's very sensitive. You offer such a depth of love that is incredible. Don't ever change that about yourself, my beautiful Cancerians, because you stepping away and giving to the rest of your life, giving back to yourself, essentially, is actually changing the dynamic for your person to come forward. They're doing the work. They're number 13 here. That's a transformative number. It's the death card number. So that can indicate that this person had like a death of innocence, an ego death as well. Death of innocence when they were younger, but also, you know, this transformative experience that shaped who they are. And they had to do some childhood healing and some inner work there. But this card in the Lenormand deck, the child actually means new beginning. It means fresh new start. It means someone kind of like not allowing life to harden their heart, being more open to like adventure. This person, yes, I feel that this person was immature to some degree regarding the way that they dealt with this. And I feel like they actually regret whatever their triggered response was, because I feel it was to abandon, to run away from responsibility. So this person, the abandonment didn't just affect this person's emotions that, you know, a parental figure or guardian wasn't around. It also meant they had to step up and become responsible in the family unit. So this person had a lot of responsibility on their shoulders when they were younger. And when they got older, they were like, I don't want responsibility anymore. They ran away from it. And of course, a relationship is responsibility. So this is what I'm picking up from this particular twin flame dynamic. I want you to be aware of that. The Emperor indicates maturity occurring in this person, okay? When you've got a child to the Emperor, it indicates someone who was immature is starting to grow older, starting to mature in their ways, starting to realize where they need to open up and be a little bit softer in their energy, where they have shut down, and looking for the missing ingredient in their life, because you're fulfilling yourself right now, trying to, you know, do things that excite you, trying to remain balanced and harmonious in your life, and try and live your best life. You know that this relationship has stalled, but something within you, my beautiful Cancerians, feels it's not quite over yet. Even though, I mean, I gotta be honest with the energy, I'm seeing two hurt people for different reasons, who really deep down want to be together because of the outcome energy right here, okay? But I feel these cards, and I gotta be honest with you, these cards indicate endurance. They don't indicate that you are kind of like leaving, but you may have toyed with the idea, or you may have felt like, I can't do this anymore. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I ignore this? Should I abandon this? What should I do? Because you've been consistent and ever present in this person's energy when they need you. And when this person has needed you, they've come on in. And of course, you were there and supportive of this person. But you are starting to realize that you are a gift in a relationship. And you're not just there to be someone's emotional crutch. You're there to have a wonderful, exciting, romantic relationship with your twin when they can step up and be in the frequency where you can come together and not have that space in between. This person has to do the work. So until they come towards you with action rather than just words, you know, I feel then you can have a more harmonious relationship there, and it is going to be something that's a little bit more long-term. Five of Pentacles, I feel this person is going to tell you how they regret walking away or shutting down in this connection. They're going to mention something about their childhood and how they don't want to be that way, but actually they replicated a cycle. So they're going to talk about that as well. I mean, the Five of Pentacles is also an energy of like sudden change or sudden unhappiness, failure, okay, is what I'm being given here as well. And this is just a fear. It's like they feared that they would not be enough in the connection, or they couldn't take responsibility. And I feel this person also worries about finances as well. So if you're dealing with someone who's a business owner, this could be something that they were like, I can't like literally think about factoring in another person right now, because they were just worried about their finances. But I mean, when it comes to love, love will save the day. Okay. So just be a little bit mindful regarding that. Love doesn't really factor in money. I mean, you know, Love doesn't ask for money. Love is not about money. So it's just something that just popped up in the energy just now that this person worries about. Doesn't mean you have to give them money at all. Just be mindful of that. Love will not go seeking like money from you. Love is love. Okay. And I feel this person, Five of Pentacles, look up the meanings of all the cards. It's an abandonment issue at the very core of this person. And when they experience, or when anyone experiences love leaving, whether it's a parental type figure, because your first foundation of love and what it means to be in relationships where people care or offer sanctuary or keep you safe, when those relationships are dysfunctional or do not work or change dynamic, it can mark a child, of course. Children are so resilient, but I feel something within this person has dealt with a very controlling parental type figure who then left. Okay. And I feel this person, when they got into a relationship, they stood back in order to really dissect the reason why they feel shut down. It's like they have a defense mechanism because you got in so deep. Okay, we do have that stork energy as an outcome, which is sudden movement and improvement. This is your future energy. The star is number 17. It's number 17 there. So with healing and time, this particular relationship that I'm picking up on can be healed, and there will be some sudden movements and improvements. I would say, especially since you have such a very strong energy of two people coming together and matching a sustainable vibration where you're both serious about each other, where you both invest in a connection, because this is a relationship based on value of yourself and of reciprocity in a connection. So I feel both of you have been dealing to some degree about low self-worth or not feeling worthy. And your person, there is this energy that next to your side, this person felt like they were not enough or couldn't give to the connection in that moment because of their fears. But with that King of Pentacles, especially with the Six of Cups, that's reunion. That is coming together. That's nostalgia and yearning. So I would say that this person's going to send you a message, and it's going to be one of those messages like, remember when we did that, or remember when I said that, or I remember you doing this, or I can't stop thinking about you in this particular memory. They're going to trigger a memory in the message in order to really reconnect. So you haven't heard the last from this person. However, it's not just going to be plain sailing. They're nearly there. They are doing the work. That's how you know the difference between a twin flame and a false flame. A false flame, and even a karmic, will trigger you without any evolution. They'll make no effort whatsoever to change or step up or try and understand what's going on. Okay, and you're not growing from the experience, but looking at the energy, I feel both of you are growing from this experience. So you're definitely connected to your twin there, and you and your person will be able to come back together in a union. Okay, also this person is going to talk to you about a gift that they purchased for you on their daily out and abouts, and they're going to tell you about this. And this was even in your separation period. They're going to tell you of a time that they were somewhere and they saw something that reminded them of you, and they purchased it with the intention of someday in the future giving it to you face to face. This is something that is true and honest, and they have it, and they will at some point give it to you in the future. So that's the twin flame dynamic that I'm picking up on right now. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Any further conversations? Now this deck, I love this deck because it highlights any conversations that have been left unsaid, and I like to see if it matches what came out in the particular reading itself with the different decks. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Ooh. So we've got, I feel so much regret for everything I've said and done. Yes, Five of Pentacles is an abandonment issue, but also is a card of regret, of struggle, of longing, of sadness. Okay, now there's always repercussions for actions. Okay, so this person needs to take accountability for actions and prove to you that they can come to, back together with you and come good, right? You can't just have the same old thing. But looking at the energy, I don't see a repetitive cycle moving forward. I see a togetherness. I see an effort being made here. So always trust your instincts and your intuition and watch actions over words. My life has changed so much since meeting you. I feel they have matured since meeting you because they do not want to allow their past to keep hardening their heart. They want to let you in, is what I'm seeing there. I keep seeing signs of you everywhere I go. Yes, that's why they purchased the gift. Okay, so that's something that definitely came out in this reading there as well. And they're going to talk to you about that. And finally, I can feel you pulling away. Have you moved on? I do feel that they can feel that because you've got this fluctuation energy. You've been consistent or ever present in their vibration. And even though you're apart, you know, you got to admit it, my beautiful Cancerians, you can feel them, even though they're not in your life right now. You can feel them. Sometimes you can even preempt when they're going to message you. You can just feel them, okay? And they can feel you. So when you're pulling away, they can feel that vibration. But that is the magnets, okay? Because when you're pulling away, it makes them come forward. It makes them step up or step out. And I feel this person, this particular twin that I'm picking up on, they want to step up, okay? So that's your final card there. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket before we close. Okay, so, ooh. So we have a skeleton, okay? Now this can indicate the death card energy of change, transformation. It can be a conversation about picking, you know, the bare bones of the relationship in order to make a difference and a change in the relationship there. This could also be something from their past, because of course a skeleton in their closet or something that they're not talking about. Now there's no secret energy here, so perhaps you already know about their childhood or their upbringing there, but there's something here about, thanks so much, I'm so grateful. There's something about their father figure is what I'm seeing there. So grief that went along with that, even though, you know, an abandonment is a grief, basically, and it lives in your bones. It is something that makes you feel that people that you've loved leave or feel like you're unworthy of their presence. And that's something that has haunted this person, and I feel that's something that they really need to release or let go of at this time. They'll find their way towards it and then find their way back towards you. So I will leave that there, my beautiful Cancerians. I hope something resonates. In fact, really, I hope that none of this resonates, because I'd rather you were with your twin and it was an incredible relationship and you were having your happy ever after. But life is complex. People are complex. People shut down. They protect. They control their feelings. They isolate in order to work things out, and they don't talk about it. They just do it. So I wish things were a little bit more clear for you, but I hope something resonates in some way so that you can find your way back towards this person and they can come towards you in reciprocity. So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, and love and light.